I was recently at the ferry building marketplace and I saw this really weird sign. It says no bananas on board. And it's true, you actually are not supposed to bring bananas aboard any of the Bay Ferries. So why is that? I looked into it a bit. It turns out it's actually based on an ancient curse, a belief in an ancient curse. So hear me out on this. Turns out that bringing bananas on board a boat is considered to be bad luck in pretty much all boating circles. And there's a couple of theories as to why this is. It goes back several hundred years. And one of the theories is that indigenous people, when they had island chains where they were growing bananas, had different plantations, different farms on different islands. Bananas are very delicate, so if you transported bananas between these farms, you risked spreading diseases. And bananas can be easily wiped out by diseases. So it may have been an indigenous practice, never bring in a banana on a boat because you might spread diseases from one island in the chain to the other. So that's one potential explanation. Another is that ancient sailors may have not wanted to have bacteria, or even there can be spiders in bunches of bananas, so not wanted to have those on board their boats. But I think there's a really even a better potential explanation for this, and it's based in science. And that is that bananas, as they ripen, release a substance called ethylene gas. And ethylene gas actually causes other fruits to ripen. It's actually used commercially to ripen things like tomatoes that are underripe or apples and that kind of thing. And bananas release it naturally. It's the reason if you put a banana in a paper bag with an underripe tomato or an apple, it'll actually ripen it in a few days. So bananas release this gas, and the theory is that sailors probably placed the bananas in their cargo hold alongside other fruit that they expected to slowly ripen during their journey to the market. And the bananas releasing this ethylene gas would have caused that fruit to ripen and spoil before they reached their destination. And they could have, shown up with a cargo hold full of spoiled fruit, maybe even not had enough food for their journey as a result of the bananas. And they wouldn't have understood the science of ethylene gas and ripening, obviously. So they probably would have just said, bananas are cursed. They're bad luck. Don't bring them on board a boat. And that's, to me, probably the most likely explanation for this superstition. But it's very, very common in the boating world. It's something that extends to modern fishers, people who are making a living from the ocean, and captains who bring people out on charter boats. There's reports even that some charter captains, if a guest tries to wear a Banana Republic shirt on board the boat, will either cover up or make them even cut out the logo from the shirt because they don't want the word banana coming on board their boat. So that's how ubiquitous it is, and it extends even here in the Bay Area, where normally we're not that superstitious, to the San Francisco Bay Ferries. Here you can see the photo I took in the ferry building. Indeed, no bananas on board. They are banned. And I actually reached out to the San Francisco Bay Ferries and said, well, what happens if you do bring a banana on board a boat? And their only response to me was, you don't want to know. So you don't want to know, don't bring a banana on board the Bay Ferries, or really any other boat for that matter. Obey the ancient curse and stay away from those bananas.